jsem to zapnul.
Jistě.
Už
nic nevidím. Jo, a vidím. Dámy a pánové, dobrý den.
Počkáme se, až někdo přijde. Kámo, se bojím. Já mám tak neděláno v kalotách.
Ve pohodě.
Co to je za miniaturu? Zdravím teda lidi, tam to nějak crashlo. Doufám, že teď to bude lepší.
Jo.
No. A abych vás teda zasvětil. Právě jdu umírat. Se obětovat. 4 lidi, zdravím, jdu se otevřít v okno, protože se úplně extrémně potím. A no mě teda se vidět nechci.
Už se z toho potíš, jo, jen z loading screenu.
Já mám naděláno v kalotách, jak někdy předtím.
Možná mešerný obrazovku, ať to má lepší přehled. Já mám ten stream trochu delaynutý a chci vidět tvoji reakci. Že... Právě.
Lidi, napište něco do chatu. Když tady padnou 3 jedničky v chatu, tak jdu začít umírat. 3 jedničky jenom nás. Že jdu hned teď umírat. Prosím.
Co tam 3 jedničky?
Ne, ale nesmí to být od jednoho diváka, lidi. Vtipálek.
Haha. Hihi. Hoho.
Lidi. 2 lidi. Ještě další 2 lidi, napište něco. Už se úplně bojím z té písničky. Kámo, hej. Já mám spocený, tak já mám tak spocený trenky. Že se jdu vyhrnout ty. Že se radši jdu vyhrnout tepláky. 1. Barbara Trebar. Bára, nechci vidět umírat.
Hello there! Vítej.
Mně se vůbec nechce.
Ale chce.
Nechce.
Ale bylo tam 9 lajků.
Já vím, ale ještě jeden like, teda jedna jednička do chatu. Poslední jednička do chatu. Zatím se na to budu psychicky připravovat.
Nějaký, jo, ale dobře ti přidává to. Nějaký glitchuje, ja? Ale dobře to dává do ty. 3 jedničky.
3 jedničky. Jsou tady 4 diváci. Jdeme.
Let's go.
Dáme new game.
Jistě. Budeš si dělat narratора sám, nebo?
Cože?
Budeš si dělat narratora sám?
Ne, ty jsi takový, ty máš dobrý hlas, ty to tady budeš dávat.
Ty vado. Ale já neumím číst. It wondered, it feels and howled. Jo, děkuju, že jsi...
Ty vole, ne, nechci, no můžeš.
Tak jo.
An ne,
endless song.
Webka.
Wait, from us.
Zasekla webka. Počkejte.
Ty vado také. Bam, bam, ram. Je to taková ta výtahová hudba. Bam, bam.
Tak, 4 lidi. Dejte like, protože Ondro, můžeš nám to číst.
Jo. They were shouting, laughing. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket hissed back with its hollow logs, rustling, hissing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the possibility. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was all 12 after all. Still.
Tak, to bychom měli tady vidět nějaký jezavest, nebo co to je?
Liška.
Liška.
To má přírodověda. Hey, put away your book, Mom said. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. Jo, a hlavně, že nemá telefon. Měl by mít radši telefon. Buďte na telefonu. Schovej tu. Měl to. Nice. I didn't protest and... Jo, I didn't protest and... About Conan the Barbarian aside. To je nějaká moc pokročilá angličtina. I was stuck on the line. I couldn't understand after it 3 times away. Olia, to je ta jeho sestra, I guess, had already finished her breakfast and was munching some. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl commercials.
Může to sijat, lidi.
You are not going anywhere until you finish all. Jo, to by mělo být asi agresivně. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole, played with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the sleepless night, black forest around us, and the gloom. The longer I waited, the colder the white substance became. It looked like jellyfish. I love that show.
Jsem skoro nepolk, ty vole, já se tak bojím, že jsem skoro ani nepolk.
I wondered how her bottom of the ocean is. Or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my... Mom showered at me with the cold glare from her... What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling once again. I felt around the spoon. What is this curve at the other side of the table?
Já se fakt bojím. Jsem tak posranej. Lidi, dejte 3 lajky. Please. Jestli se mi to opravdu vyplatí.
Ha! That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal. damaging the furniture.
Dejte další.
She would
Čtyři nebo
scold
tři.
me for a week if I did something similar.
Tak dáme ještě těžší
Similar
cestu
to.
téhle hry. Taky dáme těžší hru. Víc hororovkou.
Should I
5 lidí
remind
zdravím.
her about it?
Právě umírám.
No, she's been a bit bad. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark? Or the sounds coming from Auntie? Of the thick forest? Thick. Damn.
Proč
Thick.
ta hudba stichla? Já se bojím.
Ne, teďka
Já
se
se
nebude.
oči.
Sheesh.
Ježišimarja.
I imagine my grandpa sitting at the edge of her bed, Olia sleeps now, and saying this is her soft smooth. In her smooth. Yep. Tiger! It's special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing. Trying to steer what kind of beast you are. Dělám dobrou babičku. If you are a good sort, it won't ever dumb in times of trouble. But if you are bad apple, it grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it.
5 lidí zdravím všechny, dejte like. Když tady budou 3 lajky, tak dáme ještě těžší hru, že ano, Ondro?
Jo, jistě. Jestli máš to ne.
Teda bude, ne, takhle. Jestli tady bude 5 lajků, tak to budeme hrát do nekonečna, do té doby 6 lidí zdravím. Do té doby, než se bát nebudu, OK?
Aha. Dobře.
Já se bojím, ale stejně furt, kámo. Polikat jakoby už mi.
No.
No, povídej.
Grandpa was carrying, she never... Anybody never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without screams, until later, without smashed disease, and brutal accusations. So, she never... Our parents used to laugh at each other. I remember listening listening in on one conversation by Chen. They were talking about things her for her future. She had already bought casket, Tasita Rakev, as she called it, her cute funeral box. It waited for its time. It was black, unholstered, colored material. On the inside, I saw it. My grandma was getting. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of it, the photo, were gone.
Já se bojím. Já se bojím na to kliknout.
Já neumím číst. Glass-covered picture with grey faces. My actors. Ancestors. They all had a death. But watchful. Yes. I crawled out from. Olia was done with her cookies, was looking shell like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze towards the frosted. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost forming a picture on glass. Olia, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those ocean thingies back to sudden. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision and look under the surface. Not outside, on the window.
Zasekla webka.
Look, here snows and tak počkej. Měli bychom, až to fixneš?
Já to hned fixnu lidi. Jo, dobrý, už to je fixnutý, můžeš mluvit, no.
Jistě.
4 lidi, zdravím.
Hey, eat up!
4 lidi, díky.
Yes, just a moment.
Bydlej, díky moc.
I don't see anything. Hurry up! There's... Oh.
Já jsem to skipnul, sorry.
Ah! There it is! But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. It does. Stop it! These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the f***s either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns similar to stretched atlas leaves kept creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps.
Kámo, tady už je 10 minut děj a žádný jumpscare nebo něco takového.
To prostě to tě má nabudit do té atmosféry a trošku vystrašit. I want to have a beard like him when I grow up. Mom, would you always... Mom would always ask, joking, "Come on, shut it off. It stinks." This was so long ago.
Kámo, už se začíná ta strašidelná hudba.
Nowadays, and witty comebacks were an everyday. Olia always cut ears whenever she heard something. What's the point in all this? Through the wall. It's all for your sake, that would I. For the sake of our family.
Zdravím 4 lidi.
I always cut every sound
toho
in fear of him
umíráte se.
was cheated. And dead lies word that started with a D. Divo. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister apart and taken 2 different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk. You said you believed just yesterday. Jo, co četla Olivie. Has any... Has anybody... I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You are a grown man and father of 2, and still. Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. And Lowell? There was no... But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes.
What the fuck?
Olia strapped on the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each. Last year you had... What's up? Last year you had Bebe in your closet, and now this all? But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back on the orph from dad to mom, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about breastfeeding? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice. Don't bully your girl. Our. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Olia pounded her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that looked in her eye. It's so uncomfortable. Pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with his keys he just found. A minute had passed. The theme song from echoed through the house. It was stored in incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once.
Jestli by byl největší fail, kdyby jsem tě měl celou dobu mutlýho.
Jo, tak to bylo jako docela blbý.
A naštěstí se nestalo. 5 lidí zdravím.
It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them together, example. But how do I fix a relationship? Hele, nejsem si jistý, ale nevím, jestli jako je 12 myšlenky. Že když ti je 12, nevím, jestli myšlenky. How to fix a relationship.
Kam tam máma, jak je úplně na ní naštvaná.
Úplně to nedává. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously, stealing glances at the
přijde stopra. Jež to teďkom přijde stopra. No.
Ollie had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under. Sometimes she would jump up, middle of the night, turn on see up. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles.
Co to tam je?
To je ta její noční můra. And then Olia said she saw the giant flying monster outside her. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's work, what to think of it myself. Can nightmare be infectious? Infectious? Just last night, I couldn't of sleep, and ended up thinking what to expect at my new school. There were a couple of days left before the
5 lidí, doufám, že se bojíte se mnou.
term.
Napište jedničku, jestli jo. A dvojku, že ne.
My imagination twisting that led to classroom kids. But all the students behind the desks were simply dark figures cut out using a temple. Circular holes that gapped middle of their faces, pair of eyes blinking inside.
6 lidí, zdravím. 6,
It
7
was
lajků,
as
díky
if
moc.
some creatures
Díky moc, bojím se,
were
doufám, že se
looking
bojíte
at
se mnou. Hraju Hororovku.
black
Dejte, ještě bude
black
10 lajků.
shield.
Tak bude o
Peace.
hodinu další stream, takže dodávajte.
Let's get it.
Vidíte,
Their
tady-
cure
tady-
less
tady- tady-
glorious, filled with icy sneak, made me shiver from. Will I survive here?
Jsem posranej.
One day, gang up beat me down, stomp on me with their bloody shoes. Bloody shoes. The damn school.
Já sorry, já
can
jsem to
burn.
přeskočil.
Pohodě, je
Ale
něco burn.
continue.
Jo.
Ty vlastně.
The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there. Počkej, já jsem potřebuji na...
Je, fajn.
Dlouho jsem tak to nečetl.
Díky za odběr, díky za 5, 7 lajků. Ondro, kolik že tam vidíš lajků? Já tam vidím 6. A kolik tam vidíš ty?
Já tam taky vidím 6.
Čau, Eliško Hermanová, že asi rád měla sestra.
No nic, budu pokračovat. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawing, hanging on the wall. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but yeah, begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed things. They promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine the phone and saying, "Hold, you've got the wrong." Or Anton is not around. Anton, to není Anton. Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like listening to the howl of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my classmate will like me after all. But who would ever like thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little. And now he's married, most beautiful. My mom.
Sorry.
The house creaked, pressed by the wind.
Jinak díky za 6 lidí.
The condo where I used to live.
Napište jedničku, proto jestli se bojíte, a dvojku, protože se nebojíte.
9th floor.
Jedna, bojte.
Concentrate
Dva,
building.
ne.
Buzzed with
Povídejte.
drill. Mum lay with a TV set from behind the wall. Cried like a baby. Our current house, thought I can't really was completely different. It was silent and easygoing. Its shadows lay dormant corners, closets, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me almost every. The old folk, my deceased family, their ashes eyes were hanging out on the wall, place of my drawing. Hold up, Benson. Sorry. Stuck. Okay. The floor was squeaky, rust drain were moaning. The attic was occupied by noisy drafts. Jawohl. One could think the house would perform demon. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed with the sound, the wind, the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music or product of creation. It's not like someone is playing Let Miss Old Snowy Night, right?
Right. Ne. Teďka uděláme. Teda se musíme. Řekni mi, jak dlouho jsi to hrál ty, protože my už to hrajeme 25 minut.
Takhle? To já nevím, já jsem to
Okay, lidi, jedničku pro to, abych na to kliknul. A dvojku pro to, abych na to neklikal. Takhle, stejně na to budu muset kliknout, no, ale... Jdu na to. Jdu se trošku pochlapit. Jdeme na to. Jdu umřít. Jsem připravený umřít.
Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, the dark forest as they backdrop. They jumped around basket in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, crawled all four. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood up right at time, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadow for then something bizarre was going on. Shadow dancing in the starlit abyss made my imagination making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly the music has stopped.
Ty vole, to nevypadá dobře, oni se na něj dívají. To není dobrý.
The dancing shadow frozen in, and I could swear, piercing me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps.
Ne, kámo.
It glinted on squeaky snow,
Ne, já se jdu
leaving
zavřít
any
okno.
sprint.
Se bojím.
Dobře, počkáme tady. Tak, jak se vám líbí hororovička zatím? Velmi dobrá.
Já se na to budu dívat za Zohra. A nebo ne.
It glinted.
Počkej.
Ano, ano.
Dáme si to tady takto. Jenom si takhle ještě nastavím mikrofon. Tak. A můžeme jít na to.
It glinted on squeaky snow. Tak nic. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards my bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stopped in the middle of the perfect dark room, listening to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an The sound moved to the right. The circlet around. You then circled. Now, my quest should be at the front door. I jumped into bed and covered myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remember the funeral of my grandmother, lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin ball. Ants running up and down the legs of chair had held my grandma's cast. I imagined those little climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her winky eyeball would once again move inside her sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chatting the spell and thought through throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket, listening to squeaks, owls, and owls, I was repeating the same words. Anton, joo, todella. On the inside of Buan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashed hair from the spot. Devil Rayer, Pierce and always live God's faithful servant named evil, leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Já se bojím. A vaše mě šla kamera.
Ale jakože, mně se ten stream... Já nemůžu si, že se mi nějakou dobu už ten stream načítá si prostě. Ale jako...
Počkej.
Bizarre sounds had disappeared. Přečtu, ať to můžeš rovnou přeskočit.
Počkej. Okay. Zkusíme to.
It consciously peeked out from us and saw creatures waving around like a hangman. Ty vado. Jaké technické problémy.
No, ještě kamera se mi sekne, viď? Paráda. Já tu kameru fakt miluju. Ne, je dobrá. Ono se zase sekla. Počkej, tak já to jdu. Já to úplně moc znova tu kameru. No. No nic. Opravil jsem to. A se to nasekne už.
Nice.
No jasně, zase sekne. Já ji na chvilku vypojím hlavně. Za chvilku ji zase uvidíte. No, můžeme jít dál.
Dobře. And then the night dosed me with a new pattern of boiling terror. The sound scratched in my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurling the blah blah blah. The door was shut. Dad had become very conscious recently, so he had installed something. I remembered him starting at the forest, intently, as if he was looking for something. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. Dust to dust. I hacked my knees, placing my chin between them and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before that night of darkness. And then...
Moc! Ne.
The door knob twitched slightly.
Moc.
Then it turned halfway. Once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter.
Asi říkal, tohle to jumpscare stop. Ne.
The door knob tilted once more, and then
Ty vole.
started clinking violently. Clicking out. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened.
Ne. Jste udělat prostor, aby se pak pořádně to vzpomínat. Tady to bude chytit znovu.
The wind taught me, don't let me, moaning inside the tin. Now.
Ne.
Now use.
Neuvidím nic, neuvidím. Dáme si holsku, aby jsme se nakopli pořádně. Takže.
Pokračujeme.
Ne, já se jdu pořádně nakopnout.
Co si dáváš? Mě tak.
Jde na to. Jde na to, baby. Ne.
door was wide open.
Ne. Ne. Už to dělej, už to mě bavní.
The darkness brightened inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony. It was as if the night itself was calling me out, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hugged corners of, waiting for the one who waved to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony. My abdomen thickened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale and desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked, Tony, you asleep?
Ne. Zrovna ubyl jeden divák. Já se bojím. Řekni mi, každou chvilku už to tam přijde?
Ne, ještě ne.
Kecá.
Až za chvilku. Nekecám.
Už 45 minut to hrajem.
Byl jeden, kdo nás nemá rád.
Ježiš, já jsem se lek.
My sister's pale face protrude from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olia, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip and clean sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago traveled away and hit somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dream don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to... But was I sure myself? I had an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have brains and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled. What was that? What studies me with its eyes while dancing, burrowing under. The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chance. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashes hair. Tony, coming? Yes, just a moment.
Ah! Ty vole!
Jseš tam? Očividně ne. To je...
Pomoc! Kámo, já jsem se
Byl to
tak lek.
Byl to jenom jeho sen, hele.
Aha. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. Já nevím.
Budeš teď to dělat?
Určitě, hele. Já si jsem.
Ne?
Pojď.
Dobře. Já taky ne, ale... Who could be visiting us here? In the middle of no...
Where?
We don't know anyone around. So precise then. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from us. I could barely hear voices coming. My mind was urgently hide in the closet under the table. Už to sledujem. Behind the curtains where Olia was always hides. Tony, come here. I felt like bells were tied to blah blah blah. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced, grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out photographed. There was a ginger boy around the age of pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had stripped cat. His hands wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Closely. Where would I see? I don't know anyone around. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you have seen him. That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. No, I haven't seen it. I see. He sounds tired, but his eyes. His stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwisely under the weight of guilt.
Co děláte?
with his giant
Jsem
shadow.
to skvělé, já jsem se před 5 minutama strašně vylekal.
The policeman finally tore his glazed over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit, it's just our little daughter's. It's our little daughter's Mrs. City. Mrs. the City, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything is alright. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his grey eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and these unpleasant conversations soon. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews. He's a witty boy around your age. We're the same type of Googles. Haha, always englosses in reading those mysteries. Told me he wants to enroll his school when his family visit this summer. Wanted to help other people just like, see? I felt uncomfortable as if a distant relative and police officer stood before. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from troubles. Times have changed so much. Mom injected a cold voice in a call. You don't say. Well then. What grade are you in? 6th. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time. Then I'll leave you my number. I'll leave you my number just in case you have any new info. The policemen were gone along their shadow. The smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a his face still stood before my. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do, forget about me? Mom, this Voa, did he go missing? Seems like it, poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police. Aulas. Ne a. Bus drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off all paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage Mr. Knowles from the Black Kid series I've read this summer. You average boy and girls investigate all sorts of mysteries that
já něco tady udělám.
They looked for clues, spied on suspicion. And after a set of amazing adventures, BAM! Solved and complicated. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find the lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their QRLs for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from D word. I fantasize about buying a Tamagotchi and getting costed later and a bunch of tapes for myself. The wall box of the surprise. When was the last time of our parents bought us anything? Last autumn, I think, had lost his job. Time. There's the annoying song about it. I had little no idea. What was the account job like? They count. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely have money to afford sweets that would always buy chocolate. Sometimes I gave a shirt. No matter how much I wanted to be sweet, she was still just a squeak. I couldn't wait to go out. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by a wild animal or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through way. I won't go far. I'll stay away from. Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? Did you hear what I said? Yo, better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. It sound of splashing water kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and last word. Takže můžeš jít do kuchyně, můžeš jít na zahradu.
Tak co máme brát?
Jak chceš, nechám to na to.
To front yard, to kitchen, Všechno je takový, jako že by to něco mohlo být. Že třeba venku říkala, že to tam jsou velký, že tam nepustí. Když půjdu do sklepa, nebo co to je, tak tam to bude strašidelný stopro. A v kuchyni...
To podle mě není sklep, to je spíš žírna. Protože je to pod schodama.
Je teda spíš žírna. A do kuchyně se taky bojím.
Tam půjdeš za tou mám.
En tam díky dáš páníky. Jdeme do spížírny.
Okay. The dark stuffy closet. Tak dokonce closet nějak. Mom says it smelled like mice, but how would she know her smell? She hates when I stick my nose in. She's afraid I'll cut myself the freshly sharp eggs. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door, turned on a dim lamp, so she would see. There was nothing.
Yeah, sorry.
She still didn't. And I like hide closet and listen to Olia outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboard, hoping that she wouldn't
like
to look for
streamovat do 7.
monsters then.
Já jsem to zlíkon vypnout, ale asi ne, co děláte?
Hrajeme hororovku.
Přesně tak.
Mikiu. Tak můžeš jít do kuchyně, nebo zase...
No. Hele. Půjdeme ven, to bude strašidelný stop.
Anton. I'll whip you if you make a step out the door.
Stejně tam jdem, ne?
Jak chceš, ale.
Jdem do kuchyně, budem.
Grandpa kept ice cream for me and Olga there. Now I could only see meat, bit of soup, and clump it together. Pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Meat bits for the soup.
Jdeme.
I need to distract my mom somehow. Or I get cool that my as my I need to destroy. Tak možná když dáš to open. Tak zkus třeba kliknout na to.
Na cože?
Na tu sekeru třeba. Anton.
Čí sekera?
To nevím, počkej.
No to nejde.
Musíš nějak tu mamku a... It was difficult to lie to me, but there was no other run away. Mom, something is wrong with TV. The pictures is dim and there are stripes. Mom's face became visibly distorted. You are killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you, the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technical in this whole technical? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in... Maybe it's the snowfall. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went Olia's room.
Tak jdem ven. Jo, jdem ven.
I opened the front gate, went in. Carefully, so my mind window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as... I remember it. My nightly fears. I saw those silent this around here. They were jumping around. The hypnotizing music started playing in my head, all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a symbol. The sun turned nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing, distorted shadows crawling in the snow. That's right.
Wat een fan anglicky. Já taky ne. Ne, tak jako. Takhle, popravdě. Polovině, teda 60% věcím tam rozumím.
Jo, ale tam jsou někdy takový slova, tyjo.
Těm nerozumíš ani ty, nebo?
Co já tomu rozumím, Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally... No ground, no sky, no parents, no audience. The time reached its limit, and one-way trip that ended in the forest by these thoughts. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. our parents would scream at each other, arguing, and both me and Olya too. But then always came silence. Our apartment became numb and couple days before. It was hard to remember last time Mom and Joe laughing or spent time together, almost like all of it was a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always brought and snored in funny way. But one day, all changed. Something important had left our house.
Můžu pokračovat. Fortniteák, ty varo. Jsou ty dnešní Fortniteáci, no. Napovídej.
Yeah, those some chat. And something scary filled the remain void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves. From who thought?
Počkej, hej.
Počkej.
No.
No?
Hele. Pravdě už to začíná nudit trošku. Jak dlouho to ještě bude tak trvat?
Tohle už jsme ve 3/4.
Já už to streamuju 1 hodinu a 15 minut, jenom toto. No. Budu to streamovat do 8, teda do 7. Continue.
Okay.
Jsi jistý, že to není v polovině, ale ve 3/4 toho.
To, počkej, já si myslím, že to takhle
V čem, že já jsem tě nerozuměl?
ve 3/4 jsme.
Okay.
From the people with that cold eye who sometimes visited us in our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground every. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming peace. Okay, shuddered, chased away my delusion, and looked around. There were only me, this wild filled the wind that was whipping up icy dust belts of powdered snow. I squint from the sun and turned my eyes to sunless forest. It looked especially dark, contrast with the blind knobby tree rods slithered under the snow like fat snakes. rotten leaves, and coniferous furrows the eyes. Dry, prickly branches interviewed, bringing up uncles about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something? Some objects was hanging of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge, it looked like one dead bird getting semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show, The Street of Broken. He was also always angry, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mission help them find the lost boy? Ooh-wah. I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Ooh-wah. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Ooh-wah resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Ooh-wah. I knew someone was looking, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its style, how it was bent down towards the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's just my imagination. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my side. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned, gazed back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination up.
Protože jsme se like Honzi.
Silence regned for a painful. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in. A noise, any little movement, any small whisper, the thicket and its spring. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked and admitted once more. Chceš utíct nebo vzít?
Vezmem to.
I decided to take the lonely. Ooh-wah. A shout rumbled across the field, dissolved to distance, No echo for a reply. I stepped towards the bristly tree. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked, and the mitten drove awfully in bluishy sound. All the heavy wet just squeezed without thinking, and something blood forming a tiny split in the snow. Steam rose from the snow. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of breaking branches prevented the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the giant leaves. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason it gave me. You can do it! Don't stop! I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. I felt like the sound had pack of beasts rather than single. There are no strict stats. They sense my two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew off near breeze. The roars were coming from all directions. From the dry, up raspberry bush, from twice pines, from hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snow clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something, the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength, rushed over. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles were in a hard. I reached a clear path, one jump, and from there ran to my. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening. That house was in my line of defense from the shadow that wings and the creatures that were hiding in the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice, as if a dog was striking its paws, demanding to be let in, so couldn't escape. I hadn't noticed his mark when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard? My mom had locked. Drowning in fear, I pulled on the door, and it opened gave. I rolled in the hallway and shut the porch planks creaked as my pursuer ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock, and I gritted my teeth hard, the iron whipping. I gritted my teeth. I stared blank. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful flimsy barrier. It was probably less useful. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at it. It smelled of pine and sweat. Sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and her side the same she always used when.
Sorry.
What exactly didn't you? No?
Yes.
What exactly didn't you understand when I told you never slam the. I didn't mean to. I snuck a glaze at the door. The smell was gone. Breath was too. There was someone. Here. I feel the slow. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those square. She finally saw condition my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would. I reached out to her. It was very little. I wanted to cuddle me.
Co znamená afraid?
Že to, počkej, jo, bál jsem se, nebo tak, byl jsem. Bál jsem se prostě. But Mom regained her composure fast. Usual. Her eyes shone like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarette. cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? I thought there was something chasing me. I started as soon as I started my song.
Už se to blíží ke konci.
Tears. Co?
Že už se to blíží ke konci, že jo?
Skoro! Tears welled up my face.
Počkej,
Mám
v
ale
kolika procentech to tak je?
Ty vado, tak 85.
Co? Tolik dlouho ještě?
Já nevím, tyjo.
Co to
Víš
dohrál?
co, já jsem to dohrál. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Ale jestli chceš, tak... Then she squinted her eyes, insuspicious, and looked front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she looked over there, the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became brave once again. My pressures were flowing. I could swear that I have heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned with her fingers and gathered on my room. Took a look in the kitchen window. I could barely discern some heavy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs! Just a small pack of strays with no name, and the owner barely remembered of the hungry monsters that lived on the edge of the forest. Mom, oh boy, where you scream of them. I think they'd rather be scared and they were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they are? The smile had slowly faded. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing. What if they attack? Mom? I wish your dad just shoot them all. Mom, look, they are alive. Huh, what? Are they your friend or fool after? Make up your mind. You are not a little kitten. Mom is... Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking, but rather my pants a more. Okay, and what for? What used to have for this?
Jo, jasně, bude záznam, ale záznam bude. Se neboj.
Mitten. Jakože furt to můžem proklikat, když chceš už ty.
No.
A dark net sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made squishy sound in my hand. It seemed like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a
No, každopádně už streamu hodinu a 45 minut. Maximálně to dám do 2 hodin. Už na to kášu, kámo.
Okay. I hurried to present this clue to my. Yo, Mama, look, this is what I met. That boy, the police were asking. It's drenched in blood. I found him in a tree. I can show. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look. Ew. A shadow of damn slowly crept onto Mom's distorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip. Stop it this moment. Olia will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and wins all the time. And you joking around like this? In that moment, I realized the mitt was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sing floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy. Oh, don't. Already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and you. That would have given you a good whipping. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep it. And you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow bitter medicine, drinking it down with similar of what that gave off the taste of glory. Maybe it wasn't Smith. Just like the forest monsters. And Olias owl. Am I going mad? What is happening to? Either the pill has an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain let fear inside. Serenity washed over, bringing Yahweh difference along with it. Anthem, done. See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep?
Proč se mě na to ptáš, než se ženeš? Mě zajímá.
No, Mom. I was just thinking. What about? I wonder.
Yeah.
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking on sun and not some doppelganger that came forest. Is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about. I'm alright, Mom. She heaved deep sighs. Fine.
Okay.
It seemed like the house has changed. The sofa fabric had become scarlet. Fingerprints appeared above tiles. The light bulbs also dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva. A melody from Aladdin we heard upper floor. I slowly changed it. I stopped before the sink, studying like I was trying to solve spot different puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafaras and Lagos voice. I walked past Oli's bedroom, slipped in. Kamo, tam někdo stojí za záclonou.
Ne.
Monster Ghost UFOs. Tam vidíš to, když se koukneš pod ty záclony, ale teď...
Jo.
The Encyclopedia of Paranoia from Romance Public. I've learned about the Loch Ness monsters. Your Loch Ness monster, Medusa, Gorg, and Bigfoot. Olia is always scared of. She could barely handle sift through the monster section, but the middle part, where they start to talk about ghosts, really free. I even remembered post after read that book and measured the distance between items on and checked if they moved due to some supernatural first come tomorrow in the morning. They didn't. But to be honest, what was I expecting? Meet Casper was. Teď tam ty nohy jsou dobře vidět.
Jsou mega vidět.
Antlerch tree.
Tam už je vidět i ten stín.
But sometimes I would still catch myself window at the icy treetops instead of.
Proč jsme odebrali 4 lajky ze streamu?
Jak 4? Kolik?
Z 9 lajků? Se to líbí jenom 5 lidem.
Nemají rád. Prostě. One of the travels was I hate. The simple action drained the last bit of strength. Komu se to nelíbí? I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind it. My tired head dropped to the sheet.
se to
But-
blíží ke konci, protože už streamujeme na hodinu a 50 minut.
Jo, skoro, hele.
No,
Whether it was to...
kolik procent tak?
Ty vado, já nevím, tak 90. Whether it was
90?
to... Jo. Tam ještě bude, no to je jedno. The room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing was the figure between the windowsill and the curtain. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. Just like a savant of sorts. Olia. Who else would be standing? I stood up and licked my dry lips. Yeah, Olia, it's so funny. The silhouette was it was enveloped soft, as if there was a thick layer of darkness. They're not a human being. I reached towards the curtain. Baroom, baroom, beat my heart. Stood by. The wind sank the field with chorus of
Jak to, že se málo slyšet, tady.
For a second, I wanted to return to bed, just lie down and watch the person, knowing full well they were looking back. They are looking without blinking, waiting to me fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled up the curtain. Gotcha. People, gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. A blinding bright halo lit up above Olivia's head with a setting as the background. My sister's voice shined. When she was just a baby, I'd always used to say she was. I always returned my dad she's not some. But I brought her and sunlight powered her smile. I felt like I was a child woven from light. I saw everything.